Hey everybody, how's it going? Serial Overdrive here, and today we're going to be playing Entropia Universe. What we're going to be doing today is the Beginner's Guide to Profit in 2019. I've been doing this for a while, and this is my basically 2019 update for the game. So stay tuned, learn a thing or two, and at the end, if you got any questions, feel free to ask. Alright, so the first way to make money in Entropia Universe is something called sweating. So sweating is a fairly easy thing to do. It's something that any new player can do. It's something that basically any player in the game can do. It's real simple. I'm going to show you how to do it. This is basically a guaranteed way to make money though. So first off, go to your inventory, hit I to do that. Go here to your tools. Then you can back click on this VSMK1, you equip it. Then all you've got to do is find a mob, otherwise known as a monster, point it at it, and then just use the device. The mob is going to try and attack you, but you just keep using that device. Keep using it. Eventually, you're going to see some green, stuff come on it. That means it's focused. Once that thing has been focused, you're going to be able to extract sweat from the animal. Sweat can then be sold to other players. See, there we go. We've got it. Now you use that, and eventually we're going to get something. And then once we get something, I can show you. There we go. So we got something. I can show you what it is. It's going to show up here in your inventory. Or sorry, it's going to show up here in your inventory. It's going to be this, a vibrant sweat. Once you have the vibrant sweat, you can then sell it to another player. You can sell it for about maybe like 5-ish PEDs per 1,000, so it takes a long time to get, and you're not going to be earning much off of it. It's definitely not the recommended way to go. I'd recommend you guys deposit, because sweating tends to be very, very boring. But if you're stuck and you've got no other way to do it, you can't deposit, this is one guaranteed way to make money in Entropia Universe. And it's also the only way you can make money in Entropia Universe without, well, it's one of the only ways you can make money in Entropia Universe without putting any money down. Now, let's say that's too complicated for you. You want something a little bit easier. Another thing you can do is just walk in a straight line. Watch the ground, and eventually what's going to happen is fruit or dung is going to appear on the ground. You then just go ahead and pick that up, and boom, you've got something you can sell. That's another way to get free stuff. Those are two of the easiest ways to really get free items, okay? And then those free items you can go back and sell. But yeah, so that's sort of the two basic ways, the newbie ways of doing it. But hold on one sec, folks, because we're going to go with a more advanced way in just a second, so stay tuned. Alright, so that more advanced way that I'm talking about is by going to the oil rig. So the oil rig is this basically area where oil is dropped for free. Oil is a resource. You can sell that resource on the market. The oil rig is located right in here. This is a PvP zone. So what happens is all the players can go here. They fight it out. They duke it out. And hopefully they get some loot, right? That's what everybody's going for. Everybody comes in hoping for loot, looking for loot. But remember, only the strong survive here. So if you're a newbie, maybe you can come here at a weird time. Maybe there's no one online. Maybe you can get some oil. But it's very hard to get here if you don't have a ship. And if you have a ship, it costs money to get there. So again, then profit is not guaranteed. If you're a newbie, you can try walking. You can walk into the oil rig every single time. While you're walking, you're going to find fruits, you're going to find dung, you're going to find stuff like that. Once you're at the oil rig, all you've got to do is sit down and wait. As you can see, the oil rig is this thing right here, this massive thing right here in the middle of this area. So if you're wondering how to get to it, Camp Icarus is right here. The oil rig is way over here. So just make that walk. The coordinates of the oil rig are 83197 by 79231. Now, again, the oil rig, not a guarantee. There's no guarantee you're going to find money here. There's no guarantee you're going to find oil here. And most likely you're going to get shot. I'm going to get shot the second I land, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I won't, maybe I will. We'll see. This is just for the purpose of the video, so I really don't care if I get oil here. I never try to do it. Also, you're going to notice there's some very high level mobs here. See these Aatrox? They're level 33. That means it's going to be pretty hard for that new player out there to take. But again, maybe it's worth it. Maybe you want to come here, you want to get some oil, and it's a viable way to do it. You can make about 7 PEDs per oil drop, which is pretty good. And if you're lucky, you're going to be getting that, you know, once every, I think it's like 10 to 20 minutes, which isn't bad. This is the oil rig right here. You can see there's some high-level players there. They're saying hi, so these people might be nice. So what I'd recommend if I were you, you can sit here. If you got your ship, you sit here in your ship, maybe just hover a little bit, and then when it spawns, you can jump out and grab some oil. One thing to remember, though, as long as we're here, no one's attacking us. One thing to remember is that there's no guarantee you'll get it. You're going to spend a lot of time sitting here waiting, and one of these mobs could spawn at you at any time. These are Aatrox. They're going to kill you in maybe one hit, which means you've got a very slim chance of getting to the oil. But if you can sit through it, if you can make it work, if you can find a team to go at it with you, you guys can make some good money, and it's guaranteed money because the oil is always going to drop. Anyways, folks, now that we're done with that, we're going to move on to the next way. This way requires a little bit more investment, but it's sort of it's a cool way to do things. Anyways, I'll see you guys shortly. So the next way I want to talk about that you can make money is by trading. So trading is one of these things that's done in a few different ways, okay? So basically what trading comes down to is you take ores and matter resources and you buy and sell them, okay? You buy them from players lower than what you're going to sell them at, and you do this in a few different ways. So one way you can do it is by being like this guy, right? You just stand down at a known point, this point being Twin Peaks. This is the one I always like. Wait here, and eventually what's going to happen is people will come up to you. They're going to sell you end matter, ores, and just various resources. You got to announce it. So find a chat, okay? There's a Trade Marty chat. That's actually for traders. You can go to the trade chat. This is just locally. Or you can go to just enter your own. Like there's this one called, I think it's like Cali Trade or something like that. And that's a Calypso trade channel. So if you're on Calypso, you go to that channel and you just say, hey, buying ores and end matter. And someone's going to come up to you. They're going to say, hey, what's your price on oil? What's your price on this? Have a price ready and just tell them I'm buying oil at whatever percentage, okay? And then they're going to come to you and they're going to sell it to you. Now, you do this with a bunch of different players. You get a nice collection, and then you sell that collection either on auction or in person to another crafter or a trader or someone who can buy it for a little bit higher value than what you're buying it at. There's all these different ways to go about it. The old school way used to be stand here at Twin Peaks. This is a teleporter. It's right here. It's a cool teleporter to have. I recommend everybody get it. You stand here at Twin Peaks and you just say on the trade channel, you know, buying ores and end matter. I won't actually say it because I'm not doing that, but you'd say something like that, right? People come up to you, they trade with you, and then you'd go on auction, you'd sell it. Things have changed a little bit since then. So let's just head to auction though. What I recommend for you guys, make sure you've got 50 to 100 PEDs minimum. Pick an ore, pick an end matter, pick a few things that are very common, start buying them, and then sell them. Remember, you want to get like, you don't want to buy too many things, because if you buy a bunch of little things, you can't stack them up and then sell them for a profit. So here's how it's going to work, okay? There's this thing in Entropia Universe called the auction. On the auction, you can buy all sorts of stuff, all sorts of cool stuff. You can buy ores and end matter. So for instance, let's say you want to trade oil. Okay, because oil is a pretty good one. Everybody needs oil, and as you get used to the game, you're gonna figure out like what people need and what they don't. Oil's a big one. List is a big one. Any of the basic ores and end matter. You can also check these things yourself by going here. Check the market value, and you're gonna see it sells for 104%, and it sells 2.4 thousand PEDs worth a day. That's a huge number for Entropia Universe. That means there's a lot of volume. You want to look for volume and a percentage that you can deal with. This is a low percentage markup or an end matter, so you're not going to make too much out of it. Let's say you can buy it at 102.5%, sell it for 103.5. You're making 1% per sale. Now remember, you guys probably don't know this yet, but there is a fee for selling something. So let's say I want to sell this. I've got some diluted sweat, whatever, right? There's an automatic 50 PEC auction fee, and then there's a small markup based on the percent this percent price that you're selling it at. So if you're selling something at 101%, you're not going to have much of a markup based on that, but you're still going to have to pay those 50 PECs. If you're selling it at like 1,664%, then you've got a 4 PEC markup. So always remember that markup. The higher the value, the higher the markup on something, markup being the price over TT. So TT would be, if you go to item info, the value that that an item is listed at. The amount that an item is selling for above that TT is what Mindark taxes. Mindark being the creators of Entropia Universe. And so the higher you're paying in percentage. So if you're going to buy something at 130%, you're going to pay more tax on auction selling it at 135% than you would be if you bought something at 105% and sold it at 110%. So always be sure to include that in your sort of fees. And remember, the game's buy low, sell high. Another thing is you can always search for orders. Sometimes people have orders, sometimes they don't. But orders are a great way to automatically just know that you can sell something. So it's always useful to just go up here, go to End Matter, or even go to Refined Resources, and you can get an idea for what things are selling at. If you have time, write these down, write these prices down, because these are prices that you can automatically sell at. So if someone comes to you and says, hey, I've got a list, I want to sell it to you for 103%, you know you can sell it for 104.16%. That is a deal you take every day, all day, because it's a good deal. Again, though, just remember these things do run out, so make sure that if there's only an hour left, you don't buy a list in 2 hours and then wonder what happened. Generally, though, the orders are going to be for below market price. This is another way that people do it to make money. This is actually a very easy way to do things, okay? So you've got something like list. Now I'm going to show you list. This is a highly used crafting material. It has a very high not very high markup, but it has a very high sales number, 15,000 PEDs a day. That's huge. It sells for 105.78%. Now if you order the buyout, you can see the lowest it's selling for is 104.89. Now if you put in an order for 104.21%, then you can go out, sell them in 50 PED batches for 104.8%. You're going to be making about 0.6% per trade on this deal. That's a really good markup, and there's a lot of people that are going to sell you list for 104.2% just because the markup is so minimal that they don't care about that little bit of extra loss profits. Your big thing here is you're just making a little bit, but you're making a little bit off a lot. The more PEDs you invest into trading, the more you're going to be able to make. It's a percentage game, right? You're trying to make 1 or 2% per trade. And if you're putting in 1,000 PEDs, 1 or 2% of that's about 10 PEDs. If you're putting in 100, it's 1 to 2 PEDs. So always remember, it's a percentage game. It's how many times you can make that number work for you, right? So like you want to get that number flipping over. If you can do 100 PEDs every 2 hours, you're going to make a ton of money. Well, not a ton, but you're going to do pretty good. And as you get more and more resources, you can just start doing more and more like things, right? You can start buying and selling more and more stuff, and the more stuff you buy and sell, the more and more money you make. It's just this repeating cycle. It's just awesome to get in. But trading is something that's very time consuming, and there are chances that you can take a loss. You don't want to hold anything for too long. You don't want to buy anything for too high of a percentage, and you always want to have sort of an idea of where the market is. So you want to know all your basic orders and end matter. And better yet, if you're on a chat channel, right? Like if you're on I don't have any channels, but if you're on a chat channel like Cali Trade, you can go in there and say buying orders and end matter. Someone might message you and say how much you buying gas for. If you're sitting here at the auction, you can just instantly like do this order, buyouts at 114. You say, hey, I'm buying it for 111%. There's an order for 112. So maybe say like 111.5%. That's something someone might be willing to give you. Also, guys, quick tip here, if you're trying to sell stuff to people, if you have a big amount, like 50 PEDs or more, always check auction for orders. It's a quick way to get money. And you're selling it for below market price, but it's a quick way to get money, and it's usually better than the number the traders will give you, or the percentage traders will give you. So that's sort of like a base explanation of trading and how it works. It's a very good way to make money, but you really need to have a good idea of just how the game works. Anyways, there's one more way I really want to discuss on how you can make money in Entropia Universe. And it's a big one. So stay tuned, folks, because that is coming up next. So now we have the big finale, the final way to make money and the easiest way to make money in Entropia Universe. And everybody that knows my videos knows this. It's deeds. So deeds are basically these things. It's like real estate, right? You can also buy real estate in Entropia Universe, but alright, I'll go over real estate real quick first. Real estate, you could own like a land area or a shop or a mall, and those are all ways that you can make money. A shop's a way to make money just on trading. You can buy a shop. They're a lot of money, though. It looks like this one in Deer Mall, which nobody ever visits, is selling for 15,000 PEDs. That's 1,500 US dollars, American coldbacks. That's a lot. I don't think it's worth it. Another way you can do it is a land area. Now, a land area is an area of land that you control on Calypso. They're basically these things on the map. Everybody would love to have one of these because you can just set what mob spawns. You can set all sorts of cool things about it. The problem is they're very, very expensive. Expensive to the tune of, drumroll please, 18,000 US dollars or 180,000 PEDs. That's a crazy amount. I wouldn't recommend it. So, what's the easy way to do it? The easy way to do this, invest in land without really blowing a ton of money, is through deeds. Now, there's 4 different types of deeds in Entropia Universe. There's compact deeds. Do not buy these. These have failed. Compact deeds were sold 2 or 3 years back. I always said they were a speculative asset based on this new game that Entropia Universe was releasing called Compats. Compats was released. It failed. The deeds are no longer worth anything. Right now they're selling for a slightly higher markup of 35 PEDs because you can trade them in for moon deeds. I recommend you sell all your compat deeds. I traded mine in for moon deeds, but now that I think about it, I probably should have just sold them. That would be a much better offer because I don't think moon deeds are going to be worth much. So let's get to it, right? So there's 3 types of deeds, right? You've got Calypso Land Deeds, Arcadia Underground Deeds, and moon deeds. You can also buy all the deeds here on auction. So Calypso moon deeds, these are deeds that you can't sell yet. It's for a moon, the Arcadia moon, which was released. The moon is not a huge success currently. It's a very speculative asset. Right now, a lot of people think it's going to be failing. A lot of people have said that the payouts are, only every 10 days at 1 PEC a day, or every payout. The way deeds work is they pay out every time they hit 1 PEC or a set number or set time, right? So Arcadia Deeds, they pay out every day if they can. That's if they've hit a value of 1 PEC per deed per payout, or every day, whichever comes first. Arcadia Moon Deeds work the same way. They pay out when they hit a value of 1 PEC per deed to pay out, or a daily, whichever comes first. Whichever comes last, right? So it's confusing. So if a deed can pay you out 1 PEC per day, it will. If it can't pay you out 1 PEC per day, it'll pay you out 1 PEC the next day or the next day or the next day whenever it can pay out that 1 PEC. So Arcadia Moon Deeds right now are paying out every 10 days, but they would pay out daily if they could. That's not a good sign. Arcadia Underground Deeds, they pay out daily about, well, let's check the numbers because I haven't checked in a while. I've got all these deeds so we can just go over and check it. That's sort of cool, right? So you go to your PD Flow Center, you hit Y to get this open, and now you can see all these different income deeds, right? You got Compat shares. These paid out a little bit here and there, but they never were worth anything. Trust me, this payout, this 11.9 payout, that was like 2 years worth of money. So next you got land area income. So this would be if you owned a land area, or if you're like me and you own Arcadia Deeds. Now you can see these things aren't paying out too much recently. In the past, they'd almost pay out 2 PECs a day. Now it looks like they're just paying out a solid 1 PEC per day. That's why I've got 105 PECs or 1.05 PEDs per day. These are from the 105 Arcadia Deeds that I own. Now next up, you've got Calypso Land Deeds. These pay out weekly. They pay out anywhere from some days, sometimes when there's an event, they pay out an amazing amount. So you can see right here, this is sort of near like Halloween Mayhem, which was an event, and they paid out 95 PEDs that day, or that week. The next week, they paid out 84. This is sort of residuals from the event ending. Once the event ended, they went to 64 and now back to 53. Traditionally, the payouts anywhere from 50 to 60 PEDs. Sometimes a little over, sometimes a little under, as you guys can see. Now, Calypso Landings and Arcadia Underground Deeds are fairly stable resources. That payout is almost always going to remain the same. The prices are pretty balanced. Calypso Landings are a little bit of a better deal because they are worth way more. Every Calypso Landings pays out more, but it's also more expensive. So if you check the auction, you're going to see Arcadia Underground Deeds right now selling for 72 PEDs. Well, you've got Calypso Landings. The minimum sale for these is, drumroll please, 1,962 PEDs per deed, so $196 a deed, whereas Arcadia Deeds are only $7 a deed. Arcadia is valued a little bit higher because it's easier for people to buy, so there's more interest in them. That's just sort of how the market works, folks. Arcadia Underground Deeds, Calypso Landings, pretty stable. I wouldn't recommend putting like your 401k or something crazy into it, or like dumping money in it from all over the place. But if you got money in Entropia Universe and you want to start making some money passively, maybe you're going to go on vacation, right? Like, let's say you're going to take 6 months off to travel the world. You're a cool guy. You've got some time off. You can do it. If you buy the deeds, when you come back, you're going to have some money waiting. Hopefully the deed price went up, but even if it didn't, probably the payout covered the losses. And, you know, life is good. So deeds would be the recommended way to do it, but of course you're not going to be getting those amazing percentages. You don't have to work for your money. You don't have to do anything for your money. It's pretty much a layback and just let your money work for you type scenario. Great scenario to be in, but you've got to have a lot of money in the game to be in the scenario. We're not talking like small amounts. Overall, I've never invested in this game. That's why I am sort of one of the go-tos as far as like YouTube and Entropia goes, is like making money. I've never put any money into this game. I bought deeds when they first came out. They've done amazingly well for me. And overall, this collection right here that I've got is worth about 5,000 US dollars. And that pays me anywhere between 50 and 80 PEDs a week, which is enough to sustain my gaming habits. Oh, right here, this guy's teaching all the trade channels. So you've got Arc Trade, Cali Trade, Cryon Trade, Monrio Trade, NI Trade, and Rock Trade. Each one of those is based on the specific planet that you're on. Cali for Calypso, Cryon for Cryon, Arc for Arcadia. You guys get the picture. Sorry, that was like a real brief like jump back into trading, but I needed to do it. I needed to do it, folks. But anyways, that's sort of deeds for you. And deeds are the last way I want to talk about to make money in Entropia Universe. So that's effectively the end of this video, but real quick, I just want to cover a few other ways that you can make money. So some other ways that you can make money in Entropia Universe: you can own a spaceship and pilot between planets, you can be a hairdresser, you can be a professional crafter. Professional crafting is something very interesting because once you get to a set level, you can make a ton of money doing it. The problem is that set level costs thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get to. US dollars, not Calypso dollars. So, yeah, it's not for everybody. In fact, it's not for most people. I wouldn't even recommend it. That's why I'm not talking about it. I've got videos, though, if you want to see it. But yeah, there's all these different professions, and there's all of these people who come up with just weird ways to make money. I'm just giving you guys the most common, like 3 or 4 ways that you can invest in Calypso or invest in Entropia Universe and make some cash, but there's tons of other ways to do it. If you guys have any other ways down below that I missed or didn't cover, please, please, please post them because I'm really interested. If it's top secret, don't post it because I'm a blabbermouth and I'm going to tell anybody, but that's the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, if you're new to this whole serial overdrive and Entropia Universe thing, maybe hit that subscribe button. I post a ton of Entropia Universe videos, and I'm sure I can help you out. If you did make it this far, at least just give me a like. Hit that like button so more people can see this video, so more people know who I am, so I get a little bit more attention and can teach some new people the ropes. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Sorry this went on longer than expected, but there's a lot of information to cover. Peace.